大家好，我是 Olive Branch 的 Alan. So you read that title right. 6 months of resistance training, also known as strength training, can reverse aging. There was a study done, actually, where we took young adults who don't exercise, are inactive, compared to older adults who are mildly active, and then they ran them through 6 months of resistance training, just the older adults. And when they took biopsies, samples from their muscle tissue out, they examined the genes. They actually showed that their age of the mitochondrial activity of the muscles have actually decreased to match similarly to that of the younger adults. Their power also in terms of muscular strength before was around 50% of what the younger adults can do. After the 6 months of training, they were only about 37% off from the younger adults. And so this showed you that a lot of the exercises that you do in resistance training can actually reverse your aging process, as well as give you the same strength or closer to what you were when you were younger. So despite conventional wisdom, people don't actually lose bone mineral density nor muscle mass when they get to a certain age. More likely is that as people age, their life progresses, they actually stop exercising as much. And as such, they actually have more time to decondition their bodies. And so by the time they reach 60 years old, that's when they actually experience muscle loss and bone mineral density loss. So it's more of a lifestyle change than it is a biological change. So the first big point that you want to address is the mobility aspect. If you're not exercising, let's say by the time you're 30 years old, okay, you don't exercise, you're still somewhat okay because you're only 30. But if you don't exercise for the next 10 years when you're 40 or even longer, by the time you're 50 years old, that's 20 more years of a deconditioned body. That's when most people, when you think about 50 years old, they're quite deconditioned. They have lost a lot of muscle, sarcopenia, and they've lost a lot of bone mineral density. So the bones are much more brittle. And so that's when you go see the doctors and they say, oh, you need to take more calcium because your bones are brittle. In fact, it's just deconditioned for 20 years. Versus somebody who continues to exercise from their 30 years old to 50 continuously, they will actually still have a body that resembles a 30-year-old. Even a 35-year-old is still very impressive. And the only difference is that it's a lifestyle choice. It's a behavioral choice. The second point out of the 4 factors of resistance training that can improve your life on is your metabolism. And that includes your liver function, how you process energy with food and then producing energy, how your body manages sugar, glucose, so you don't end up with diabetes, being insulin resistant. The third benefit is that it helps with your cognition. So as you get older, there are mental disorders such as Alzheimer's, dementia, depression and anxiety. All these things actually have been proven to be much better if you exercise, if you do resistance training. So that actually improving your memory as well. The fourth factor that your body will benefit from resistance training is your appearance. And that can come in the form of your body composition, more muscle, less fat, so you're in better shape. Your hair, your skin tone, just general posture and well-being is going to be upregulated. So the myths, guys, are still out there, meaning your metabolism slows down as you age. There's actually a study that showed it doesn't, not even until the age of 60. It's, again, because you don't exercise or maybe you're not eating healthy. You're drinking more now, you're sleeping less. That's what causes your metabolism to drop. But if you maintain a healthy lifestyle throughout your years, your metabolism at the age of 60 could actually still reflect the same, as long as you maintain that same lifestyle. When it comes to exercise for seniors, we often think that they need special treatment because they're old. Well, actually, no, they don't. They actually require the same type of exercise. It's just they might require a little bit more care because they've probably let their bodies deconditioned. Their joints are probably more frail. They're less strong, so they might not be as well balanced. They might be less coordinated due to that as well. And so as a trainer, you want to show more care and attention, but the protocol should be the same, which is to gain muscle. If you're in that frail state, you just need to be more careful when you're doing the exercise, but the goal is the same. You want to push progressively to failure, and you want to make sure the senior is able to handle that weight, but you need to make it progressive so that they gain muscle. So if you're around 30 years old right now, then my recommendation is for you to continue to do strength training. You want to continue to maintain as much muscle mass as possible, because the older you get and then you start your weight training program, the harder it will be to get muscle back. And so this is the best time is always the present to start your workout routine. And if you're a senior and you've been exercising, or you're starting to exercise and you're starting to see the benefits to your health, then you actually see that your medication might actually start to go down, which is a sign of youth, right? You're requiring less dependencies, less drugs. This allows for more of an independent lifestyle. You're more free to do what you choose to do. You can live on your own. You can do stuff by yourself, leaving them with their dignity. And this is one of the most important things for an aging population. So guys, exercise, resistance training is the fountain of youth. If you're in your 30s, I highly, highly recommend that you stick to your workout routine or start right now so that you can reap maximum benefit of a healthy, long life. Or if you have your parents who aren't exercising, try your best to persuade them to start a resistance training specifically protocol so that you give them their independence back and their dignity. If you're currently not exercising, what are some of your challenges? Feel free to share in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.